Hello, welcome to episode 300. I am Rob Commander Taco Malda, and I am turning off the intro slide and showing the faces of my fine friends, Chris, Rob, Jeff. Hello.
Hi,
What's
I'm
up?
Jeff. Also, when you do the intro, your voice gets about half an octave higher than it normally is.
That's because he's really impressed with all of you guys.
Yeah, that's Rob's excited voice. Maybe you just haven't heard his excited voice before, Jeff.
Gosh, Jeff, I just don't think you realize how pretty you are.
I think I'd just like to point out I've gone so long without a haircut that Jimmy Neutron and I are getting to about the same level of hair.
You are almost completely Parker Lewis Can't Lose right now. I want to give you credit for that.
Like Parker Lewis TV show or Parker Lewis movie?
Oh.
There was a movie?
Wasn't there a Parker Lewis movie?
No. There was Corin Nemec with his buds in the high school with the evil principal. Parker Lewis Can't Lose? Are you thinking about a
Maybe
different...
I'm thinking of Ferris Bueller had a TV show too.
Okay, Rob, we're going to have an intervention.
All right.
Or you need to share whatever you're taking, you know?
Intervene, man. No, Ferris Bueller had a TV show and a movie. Yes, it absolutely did. It starred Jennifer Aniston.
Ferris Bueller TV show?
Yeah,
Jennifer Aniston was Ferris Bueller?
No, she was like the sister, the Jenny character, or Jean.
Actually, I actually think he's right.
He's right. And of course, you want to know why Rob knows this? Because Jennifer Aniston was in it. That's right. The only reason. So, all right, Rob, how many episodes of the show were there?
Oh, it didn't make it a full season. That's my guess.
God, I hate it when you're right. 13 episodes is the answer. No, it did not make it a full season.
I just want to read the synopsis of the last episode. It was called The Father, the Son, and the Holy Estranged. Ferris and Jeannie discover that the son of their father's British associate is gay and wishes to remain in the United States.
That's actually pretty edgy for like, what, a 1993 TV show?
It's kind of edgy, but it's kind of weird. You know? I'm like, because Britain in 91 wasn't all that unfriendly to gay folks. It's very strange.
So I'm watching, just before we started this, I was watching the first
episode 9. Ferris's domineering grandmother, played by Cloris Leachman, visits.
They had it all. No, right before we started this, I was watching Batwoman. And, I mean, the show's got some flaws for sure. But it was interesting to me, like, how front and center they were putting the fact that the Batwoman character is gay. That's unusual, I think, for a CW show or for like a network TV show. Like, we have come to the point now where the lead of the show can be gay.
Your favorite show, the Heroes of Tomorrow or whatever that train wreck is, half the cast is gay in that.
But that's an ensemble.
Yeah, it really is.
That's an ensemble show, and you're allowed to have, you know, and
you're allowed.
No, that's the rules, like the TV rules. I'm not saying it's the ratio of minorities to white people and straight people to gay people.
It's the whole community college
cover
thing. Yeah.
No, there somewhere out there, every network has like a chart and a bingo card, and they have to mix and match in order to achieve the perfect balance.
So here's where I reveal myself to be Rob's mouthpiece. What Mr. Malda is saying is that to correct years of iniquity within the Hollywood cinema system, they've tried to correct by overrepresenting various groups to sort of make up for years of sin.
I don't even think it's an overrepresentation. I just think that there's a chart that says we have to have it mixed up enough in order to make sure that like we appeal to every demographic.
And before Mr. Malda says that the Hebrew folk are running Hollywood, I would like to point out that... No, all right.
It kind of hurts me that you're taking my truthful thing and trying to make it sound like I'm a racist homophobe. I can do all of that all by myself.
I know. Listen, Rob, I know you're not a racist homophobe. Or anti-Semitic or anti-black people.
No,
I know all of these
things.
things.
A misanthrope.
It's that I want the audience. I want the audience to understand that at your core, you're like this super sweet guy.
Oh,
right. That you're not always great at communicating your demographic opinions about.
Sure, I'm a white guy. I'm not allowed to.
No, that's not what I said. I'm just saying that I'm going to help you express yourself in a way that shows people the true character of the man within, which I admire and find charming.
So is anything that I said untrue?
I would say the area that I am willing to bet that if you measured it, you would not find that URMs are overrepresented in TV shows at this point.
But I didn't say that. Chris did.
Oh, yeah.
Well, see, here's one of those things where discretion is the better part of publicity, and I'm just gonna. So the thing I want to get back to though. So Batwoman, Ruby Rose, the Arrowverse. Is it any good? Because sometimes, sometimes they go full Legends of Tomorrow, and it's really like season 1 Legends of Tomorrow, and it's just
no. Do not compare seasons 1 Legend of Tomorrow to the rest of seasons of Legends of Tomorrow. Season 1 of Legends of Tomorrow, they tried to be serious. Seasons 2 on, they just basically said, "This is stupid. Let's be insane." And that to me is why Legends of Tomorrow is usually my favorite show from those shows, because they're not trying to be legit. Now, Arrow, every episode of Arrow is trying to be so heavy and so ponderous and so serious. It just makes me want to put a fork in my face.
And to be frank, Stephen Amell, is that the actor? He can't pull it off. There's just too much giggly frat boy in his head. So even when he's like, "Oh, Felicity," blah, and you're like, "Yeah, sure." Just make with the little plinky, buddy.
So after the first episode of Batwoman, I withheld judgment because it's the first episode.
First they came for Batwoman, then they would come for me. Yeah.
Now, having watched the second one, I'm thinking it's complete trash. I mean, I will absolutely watch every other episode this season. But yeah, so far it's not very good.
It's a no bueno.
Well, all of those shows gotta find their foot.
They do.
Legends of Tomorrow figured out that the footing for that show was to be the weirdest friggin' show that they could think of being.
So can I ask a question about Legends of Tomorrow?
Hit me.
From the group. I couldn't do it after the first 5 or 6 episodes of season 1.
You shouldn't. The first season is garbage.
Did they keep the Vandal Savage, thief, mean guy, weird doctor dude?
They got rid of all the characters that didn't work.
So all who they keep?
I would argue that
they got rid of Rory from Doctor Who.
Every season of that show is complete garbage, with occasionally something that's kind of funny. But yeah, they got rid of.
And I love the crossover episodes. I've actually tuned into the crossover episodes.
Yeah.
And so I've only seen the Legends of Tomorrow that are the crossover episodes.
What is it about the crossover episodes that you love?
I'm sorry, you don't like a team up? Are you kidding me? What are you, some sort of animal?
I guess I am.
Jeff hated the Avengers. Just saying.
I like what they're trying to do with all that. Like they're trying to tie in all those shows and make it one coherent thing. It reminds me a little bit of what Netflix is doing or did with Marvel, but not good. like Netflix, I think, was successful in some ways in crossing over all those stories.
I don't know. Some of the stories
and
are fun, So, but yeah.
So the thing about the Netflix shows is that those are all 13 episode seasons. So by the time they got to the Defenders, they only had 50 episodes or something under their belt. Now, when you look at the CW, by the time they had their first real crossover, those things have 200 episodes under their belt. Yeah. And they're producing 22 episodes a season. So purely on a raw output, they are just hitting so much stuff. Now, that said, they're shooting about 25% in terms of quality on across the board on all the CW shows. They're probably shooting about maybe 25%, a third of those shows are good.
And having said all that, compared to what we had when we were much younger, you look at the original Green Arrow, Smallville. Do you remember Birds of Prey when they tried to make that work?
Ooh.
I mean, yeah, No matter how stupid
Although,
it is,
again,
it is slightly better.
I believe Birds of Prey had Famke Janssen in it, who would go on to play Jean Grey in the X-Men franchise. But she was...
Oh, great. That's a marvelous sign of, we should get on board with that.
No, the thing I was going to say is, like, can I just point out how hardworking these Canadian science fiction actors are?
Seriously.
Like, they are there to work, right? It's like the whole, like, if you start with, like, I don't know, V and Prophet and Forever Knight in the 80s, basically nonstop work, never a breath, you know, all the way through to the present day. I admire these people.
So my problem with this, I agree with you in principle. These are hardworking folks, but there's a practical reality. There's a practical reality that shows up in these 22 episode shows, which is it's really hard to have a show with a single lead because you can't film 42 minutes of TV shows a week. So what you end up with is all of those shows have like a split timeline or a B cast or like Arrow is not in half of Arrow because it's his team doing Arrow.
Yeah, but now he's like, you know, but in the beginning he was in every episode. It's like Stargate, you know, Richard Dean Anderson was in every one of those damn things until like the 10th season. And it's like, this guy, you know, and he was in half this.
But again, those episodes, I don't think they were shooting 22 episode seasons after a while. They were shooting those half seasons.
Hey, up until like season 9, it was 22. Like a
double check. Go look at the order.
I'm gonna go double check.
During the Showtime seasons, I believe they split the seasons.
Oh yeah, the Showtime seasons were short, but they got to show more nakedness. So.
But I guess my point is that with those shows, like, okay, so you're coming from the comic book world, and if you're going to give me a 22-page comic book about Batman, it's going to be 22 pages, and if it's a Batman story, it's going to be about Batman for 22 pages. Yep. When you have to produce 22 episodes of Green Arrow in 8 months. Half of those storylines end up being about his girlfriend having trouble raising their kid at school in boarding school or some crap. And they get you lured away from the actual central character. So what you end up with is by the end of the season, 2/3 of that season was not focused on the character that you actually are tuning in to watch. And that's why the Netflix shows in most cases are more successful because they only have like 12 episodes. And so the lead character gets to carry the show.
Okay, so I've checked my math and I want to correct and say, Rob, you are correct. The first 8 seasons of Stargate SG-1 had 22 episodes each. The last 2, they had declined in number to 20.
Oh, that. But
hardest working show on television.
The Showtime seasons, though, did have a weird thing where they were like paid up front.
Oh yeah, no, it was Showtime, so it was all weird. It was like presaging Netflix deals of the modern age, and yeah.
I do wonder how long they filmed those shows. Also, I'm not sure that I would call Richard Dean Anderson, like, rewatch some of those middle seasons. He's not as big of a character in that show by the time you get...
Well, yeah, no, by the time they brought in Ben Browder and Claudia Black, you know, and...
That was all during the very end where the seasons were super short. You
might remember, it's bringing up Corin Nemec again from Parker Lewis, you might remember his stint as Daniel Jackson after Daniel Jackson died before he came back.
There's been a lot of Daniel Jacksons.
There's been a lot. Well, he wasn't really Daniel Jackson. He was like some other dude. But yeah. So.
But who was the movie? James Spader? Wasn't he the Daniel Jackson in the movie?
Yeah, he was the Daniel Jackson in the movie. So.
They've tried like 100 times to remake that movie or to like do a sequel or a reboot.
I think it's kind of perfect, honestly. And also the Goa'uld were my least favorite. Like when they were super Egyptian or whatever, they were my least favorite bad guy in that show. But you know, at least they had a good bad guy. You know, I'll just say that. You know.
So I put up it's thin pickings for the week, but there's a big collection of new DOS games added to the Internet Archive.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, that was cool.
I played around Alley Cat. Was pretty excited about that. It was in CGA.
What was that game that you were showing me last week, Chris? Star
Astroneer?
No. The game from the 80s.
Oh, Starflight.
Yeah.
STARFLT.
I'll have to see if it's in there. That might be enjoyable to play.
.exe. Yeah, I loved that game. It was so much fun. You're like this little squat CGA guy walking around a space station. Then you get on your spaceship and you fly around, and then you've got like these various. It's like a plague crossing the universe, and you have to sort of figure out what's going on and maybe stop it. You discover the original Earth. It's a great game. It was on 2 floppy disks. They procedurally generated all the worlds that you would land on, but then they would dot them with sort of parts of the story. It was really just, it was a remarkable game for the time.
Yeah.
I went through a bunch of old ones that I played. I mean, what were there any other really good? I'm thinking freeware. I'm not thinking Sierra or LucasArts or any of those games. Like, what other weird ones?
7 Cities of Gold was also from that time.
That was commercial.
Was Friendlyware in there? Friendlyware was like the first game I ever played.
I have to admit, my memory of what was commercial and what was copied is a bit hazy from that time period.
They all copied just fine. Just some of them you needed to have that weird book.
Also, you had to be smart about which games did saving in which format so that you could swap floppies and get multiple saves, and that way trade items between your parties depending on the game by cloning it across save disks. Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
I can't do this to Nate anymore, guys.
Oh, you can't?
I can't. It's too cruel. Nate, we've known you've been there for like 10 minutes now, or 5 minutes. And,
Nate's here.
We adore you. And I mean, to ignore you. And
that's fine. I came late. That's
all right.
Had a leak in the HUD.
You missed the part of the show, the mini episode, which was Chris and Rob talk about Stargate.
Yeah. Well, specifically. Well, all right.
They had 2 subscribers.
You can rewatch.
And me.
Jake can fill him in.
I'm looking through the MS-DOS archive right now.
What is your favorite game in the archive, Mr. Ostendorf?
Oh, wait. Before you answer, Nate, we should try to find Mega Traveler. And play
Mega Traveler was on my list.
Calling back to a previous episode, do you remember this Time Trap movie?
Yeah.
It's on Netflix.
Yes, it is. It is now.
You can go watch it right now.
It is.
I have not done so because I value my time, but when I'm on an airplane, maybe I'll watch it and fast forward.
Dude, I watch so many terrible movies. On the list of terrible movies, that isn't even that bad.
Really?
It's pretty good for like a budget sci-fi kind of thing.
Okay.
But it's also
it's basically for those viewer who haven't seen the last episode. It's like Interstellar, but in a cave.
Kinda, yeah. Kinda.
Full time dilation.
Mediocre acting and fairly questionable special effects. Now, I did watch. If you watch
Interstellar in a cave. What?
You should watch Starscape, which I mentioned last week because that's the one that's got David Hasselhoff in it.
No, I refuse. Sorry, I'm not German, and I don't value Hasselhoff's nostalgia to any degree.
No, there's no Hasselhoff nostalgia because this is pre Hasselhoff being a thing. But you should watch it just because fast forward like crazy. It's just the special effects will make you just giggle.
Oh, I got my Chateau Picard. Did I tell you all this? I got my 6er of Chateau Picard.
Are you going to give us label commentary again?
What are the tasting notes?
Well, I haven't tried it yet, so I figured what I do is I should bring it to you, and we should enjoy it together.
You were going to cellar it to 2300?
No, it's 2386, as you know. So yeah.
Have you watched the latest trailer where they reveal some new characters that are going to be in the show?
I saw the one where he has a dog and he calls the dog number 1.
I mean, Riker's in the trailer.
And substantial Riker is in the trailer.
Yeah.
It seems to have increased a little bit in bloat.
Well, I don't actually think so. If you actually look at it, what it is Picard is shrank with age.
Oh, yeah.
And Riker is just like, he's a big guy. I mean, he's always been like 6'3" or whatever. And, and he's got a little bit of extra padding on him, but I don't think I think it's more Picard has just gotten tinier.
It's harder for Brent Spiner because they're going to have to address that.
I mean,
there's
he's older. and I don't think he's actually all that unfit. He's just older. He's got more jowliness, and I can't picture Data's creator, whose name escapes me.
Sung
Soon.
Yu?
Yeah,
Soon.
something like that. Soon. Anyway, I wonder, did Lore also get puffy and jowly? I don't know.
But you could
it would be pretty awesome
within
if they
the
brought
show.
Lore back and had the two of them but do the de-aging on Lore, but keep Brent Spiner as Data as his age and justify it for story purposes. You could do something cool with that.
Well, when he got his emotion chip, the laughing changed the muscles. The little nitinol muscle wires. There you go.
It voided his warranty.
Yeah, well, it did.
I think they'll be able to deal with that easily with the plot. Like Data in TNG would be like, I'm trying laughing now because I want to be more human, and be like, I'm trying aging now because that's what humans do.
I bet that's
every time he did that, it was just rough. I mean, and I like the actor. I think he's really funny, but
that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be rough no matter what because it's an android that they're
gonna have to lampshade that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, so I haven't seen Gemini Man yet, but I wonder, because that was where they de-aged Will Smith, and I wonder, how
it's not good. In fact, I think it was on this podcast. I heard it was not good.
I mean, it's 25 Rotten Tomatoes, but what I wonder now is, so that movie, they only shot that movie last April or something. They shot that movie really recently. So what that says to me is that de-aging actors now, and I don't know how much de-aged Will Smith is in it, but I assume enough that that's something that's got to be pretty darn efficient and fast now. And I wonder when we're going to get to the point where that's actually doable on a TV show.
So I don't know that this is true, but what I've heard is, how people will deep fake stuff?
Yeah.
I heard they're using that now, basically, but just with the younger version of the actor on their body and face.
That's to be a lot easier.
Kind of the perfect use of that technology.
Yeah, totally.
That's what I read about that, and The Irishman does it with De Niro a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Isn't The Irishman 3.5 hours long though?
Yeah, it's Scorsese. What do you expect?
Got that kind of time.
No.
I gotta go watch Starscape again.
You gotta watch Starscape and Time Trap and Interstellar in a cave. Interstellar in a Thailand, soccer team cave.
No way. I'm just gonna rewatch season 2 and 3 of Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh, that's news. Did you see there was some news about the Thailand case? How Elon Musk called the guy pedo guy?
Yeah, pedo dude. Yeah.
Elon's gonna lose some serious amount of cash for his mouth, and he hired a private investigator and tried to plant stories against the guy, and I'm like, Elon, lay off the pipe, buddy.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
He's trumpet trading.
Yep.
So weird, man. It's imagine taking that much goodwill and just blowing it on something so stupid.
Every zero you add to the end of your net worth does something to your perception of reality.
I mean, you're probably right, but boy, just get off Twitter for a while, buddy.
Yeah. Yep, he's totally going to lose that. And
he's going to lose the shit out of it. And he's going to lose it here. He's going to lose it in Thailand. He's going to lose it in the United Kingdom. It's going to be. Yeah. I got to say, it's going to hit $20 to $40 million. He's going to lose for a stupid mouth.
See, I think he'll win it here.
No, there's no way.
Really? I bet he will definitely lose in the UK and in Thailand. I bet that he still wins here.
I don't know. Okay, we have a gentleman's bet.
All right. What's the bet? What's the stake?
What are the stakes? I don't know, Jeff. What do you think?
It's got to be something.
If you win, you have to bring the boys to California for the Chateau Picard tasting.
All right.
If I win, I will bring the Chateau Picard to Michigan.
That seems a little more expensive for Jeff.
It has hints of Ferengi.
I just love that format.
Okay, if Jeff wins, I'll come and I'll bring the Chateau Picard. If I win, I'll come bring the Chateau Picard, but Jeff has to buy us dinner and comic books.
All right, that's fair.
Right on. I also put one more up that I wasn't able to get to work, but I wanted somebody else to check it out. But it's the Unix game. I can't figure out.
Is it fun?
It's just like puzzles, I think, with Unix commands, but I couldn't get it to, like, I can't figure out how I was supposed to enter commands. Like, the example question, the answer is obvious, but I couldn't, like, figure out the user interface to type in.
That's the game, dude.
All of Rob's server administration is encapsulated right there. You couldn't figure out the commands.
That's the game.
That's true.
You try playing it for half an hour, and then when you quit, you win.
It's using Scratch, a Scratch type solution. You don't type anything in.
It's Blockly?
Yeah, it's Blockly or whatever.
Oh my goodness.
No, I can't figure out. Well, so where do I click? I assume it's like an ad.
Click on the Windows. You got to click on the menu of commands, and that will give you the little things to put together. Like
I don't see the menu.
You need to have kids who are actively programming, because this is what all the like teaching programming interfaces look like.
I'm really glad we don't have any subscribers, because
So this is wonderful. This is exactly what I need.
So first of all, Dad, do you see on the screen? Are you using a browser? Is it a browser? Is it a browser? Okay. Can you read me the URL? It's the thing at the top. It's the thing at the top next to the little lock icon. Or unlock. Okay, unlocked icon. And okay, yeah, just type in. Yeah.
No, I'm not trapped in London and need you to send money. I'm on the phone with you right now. Don't click on the link in that email.
Are we done having fun?
I was going to suggest shutting off your computer and restarting it. But
I was thinking about that too.
Well, what's funny? Yeah.
I got to sit here for like 5 minutes. Okay, wait a minute.
Are you doing this on a Windows 95 machine by chance?
Mm-hmm.
No, he's using his old Mac.
I turned up JavaScript. What do you want me to do?
Figure it out eventually. Okay. All right. I click on commands. That's where I get it. All right. I was looking
commands,
for like
text patterns. Yeah, like you.
I was looking for an add command, like to add an additional command to it.
I'm just gonna do email. All
right.
Well, Nate continues to explain to Rob how to use Scratch.
It's complicated stuff, man.
No, it's not. It's for first graders. It's who it's for.
I see it now. I found the button. I was looking for a plus button to like add.
So, okay, I'd like to take this in another direction. So the Logitech MX25 mouse that everyone's going crazy about, it's not that great.
Nah.
It's kind of disappointing. And I got it in this cool blue color, which you'd think would like make up for its deficiencies. It doesn't.
No.
No, because if you want to get it in a good color, you have to get it in red and be a good space orc.
It doesn't have it in red.
Oh.
This is the MX25. This is like their flagship mouse. And it's lovely. It's responsive, but just not good. It's a raw mouse.
Jeff, did you want to complain about buying your laptop?
Yes. I have now tried to order the new Razer Blade Stealth 12 times.
And I ordered it once for him and also got canceled when I tried to do it for him.
And, the Razer Blade Stealth is their new 13-inch one is beautiful gaming. It's the
what's it loaded with on the GPU side?
It's got the 1650, which is about 2/3 the power of the 1060, so it's more powerful than the 1050, but not as powerful as the 1060. So,
I have a 1050 in my laptop, and it's pretty serviceable, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, so it gets I think I scored like 3,000 or 2,800 in Time Spy on the 1650 on that laptop, and it's just
The price is not ludicrous either.
Yep.
No, it's really reasonable.
But yeah, it's really
can't buy it.
Mostly because every time you try to order it, they tell you your order was unsuccessful.
Have you considered just flying to Taiwan and picking it up at the Razer store there?
Yeah, lining outside the Razer store, camping out overnight for lunch.
It's a heck of a store.
I mean, I could complain as well in there because I can tell you how the buy page works. One part of the phone field is properly formatted so that you just put in, your digits. The other part, you have to manually put in the plus and the country code. I don't understand how the same web page can have different form validation for phone numbers.
Well, one's PCI compliant and one isn't.
Glorious.
I just want
Hey, folks, we managed to fill up 31 minutes here.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I'm going to put up the slide and then say goodbye, and then we can keep talking without Jake.
And I'm going to use my remaining time to play Might and Magic Clouds of Zine.
Oh,
nice.
I got to find the third dungeon in Link's Awakening.
They also have Ultima Underworld. That's another one that I think I actually purchased from you
that was a story we
Jeff.
could have talked about. The Fortnite black hole. We didn't talk about that. I mean,
my kids don't play Fortnite anymore. It's all Minecraft again.
Yep.
Oh, they tack back to Minecraft. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are your kids
388 of Geeks in Space? Goodbye, Jeff.
Wait, no,